Hey Ski Moms, spring break is just around the corner. Are you dreaming of sunny beach days or snowy mountain adventures? Whether you're craving sand or snow, we've got you covered. That's why we're teaming up with Vrbo to help you find the perfect family-friendly getaway. Vrbo makes vacation planning easy with private rentals designed for families and friends, offering everything from oceanfront escapes to slope-side chalets. Here's why we love Vrbo. There's space to spread out. Ski and beach trips come with a lot of gear, and Vrbo offers spacious homes so everyone can relax comfortably. The perfect location, from stunning beachfront properties to ski in, ski out mountain retreats. And privacy. There's no shared spaces or awkward host encounters. And top-notch amenities. Think gourmet kitchens, game rooms, hot tubs, and fire pits. And peace of mind. Vrbo's Book with Confidence guarantee includes 24/7 support and rebooking assistance if plans change. Spring break will be here before you know it. Start planning now. Download the Vrbo app or visit vrbo.com to find the perfect home for your trip. And be sure to follow us. We'll be sharing some of our favorite ski properties to inspire your next getaway. Let's make this spring break unforgettable. Welcome to Season 4 of the Ski Moms podcast. We're your hosts, Nicole and Sarah. Hey Ski Moms, it's time to elevate your après game with the new Ski Moms Après Ski cocktail book. Packed with delicious recipes, this book has everything you need to mix up cozy winter cocktails and refreshing sips for celebrating after a day on the slopes. From warm spice classics to creative new favorites, there's something for every ski mom. And even a few mocktails, grab your copy now and bring a little extra magic to your next après ski gathering. You can get your copy at theskimoms.co or on Amazon. Cheers to good times and great snow. The Ski Moms are super excited to talk to Lutricia Eberly today. She is the executive director of PORA, the Pennsylvania Outdoor Recreation Association. And Sarah and I, in our ongoing effort to recognize that not all ski moms ski in the Rockies or in New England, we are excited to explore skiing in Pennsylvania. So welcome, Lutricia.
Thank you. Excited to talk to you guys. I prepared by listening to a couple of your recent episodes, so I'm ready.
Oh, that's awesome. So tell us your origin story. Did you grow up skiing? Did you grow up skiing in Pennsylvania? How did it all get going?
It was fun to revisit that as I was thinking about this episode. So I started skiing in Michigan because I grew up in the Midwest in northern Indiana. But I would say I didn't learn to ski until I got to Pennsylvania. I came here for college and I took a class where the college went to the local mountain. And that's where I actually learned to ski. But I went with my, I think it was our 8th grade class to Michigan once, and I went with my church youth group. And but I was probably more interested in the boys than taking a lesson or anything like that.
Yes, I definitely remember those days. There was this, we had the high school ski trips to this place with night skiing, and there was a lot more concern about the boys than the actual skiing, I think, in those middle school ski trips. But so tell us about when you got to Pennsylvania. What did, got into skiing more? What did that look like for you?
It was a gym class with the college I signed up for. Cost a little bit extra money, but it was still very reasonable. And we ended up going to Round Top. So I think it was, 4 or 6 weeks of the year where you get on the charter bus and go with people who became your friends if they weren't already for several weeks of skiing. And I did have one good friend that I went skiing with, and I remember going through the rental line and very quickly figuring out that the first thing I wanted to do was get my own skis. And I went back to Indiana and Ohio after college and had reached out to her and said, "There's a ski swap coming up at a local store near the college here in Pennsylvania," because she was still here. I said, "Can you please go buy me some stuff?" And so she bought me skis, and then we came back out and we skied together, I think maybe at Blue Mountain then. I came back out here to Pennsylvania because she was still here and skied at Blue Mountain after that.
That is such an important pipeline that we haven't really dug into that too much, Sarah. We might have to look into the college pipeline. That's how my husband learned to ski, that they had a program at his school as well. They made it super cheap. And it's really a great age, in your 20s, you kind of bounce back from falls so quickly, and a gaggle of friends. So I love that. And that's giving me an idea for maybe a future podcast. But did you dream when you were coming out of college that you were going to be working in the outdoor industry? Was that a focus for you?
No, and that's what's so cool about my current job is that I'm raising awareness of that. It wasn't even on my radar that outdoor recreation was a job. Certainly I knew it was a job, but not a professional job. And so no, I went directly into my major, which was computer science, and worked at a university in the IT department for a while. And then I came back to Pennsylvania with an ex-husband, but I'll give him credit for getting me back here. And at that time, I started working at Round Top as a seasonal employee so that we could ski for free to get the benefits. And in the opposite season, I worked at a local university on the grounds crew. So I was working outdoors. And then that job at Round Top just continued to transform into a career. But the cool thing about my job now is part of it is raising awareness that outdoor recreation is a career and that, there's HR jobs, there's marketing jobs, there's accounting jobs. You can be a professional welder, you can be, have your CDL and drive heavy equipment. So, and I think my story aligns really well with that.
I'm picturing you in this like big data center with just the whirling CPUs and looking out this little, looking outside and thinking, I want to be out there. So I feel like, what was this jump from computer science, working indoors, obviously doing that primarily? Walk us through that career path in a little more detail.
But I don't have much good to say about it. I was not happy in the computer science in the world. Nobody wants to work a job they don't like. And so at that time, my ex-husband was carrying the benefits. And so I chose to work as a seasonal employee at Round Top because of the ski benefit. And like I said, working at a local university on the athletics and outdoor team crew, and decided that my ex-husband was not the man of my dreams. And so that meant that I needed to find some health benefits. So I was begging Round Top to create a full-time position for me because I had assumed a job also as a marketing assistant and started the social media presence for Round Top. So I started Facebook, Twitter, and I think at the time LinkedIn for Round Top one winter. And I said, you guys can't let this end at the end of the ski season. This needs to be year round. I'll do it like 10 hours a week. Like, please just let me do it 10 hours a week. I wasn't getting much of a response. So the job at the college, somebody was quitting. And so they offered me a full-time job. I'm like, I'll have to take this, I have to do the benefits thing. So I accepted that job and I said, but I'm committed to Round Top for the winter. I can't walk away from them. Can you hold the job for me until March, till the ski season ends? And they said, yes, we'll hold it for you, Lutricia. That's fine. No problem. So that was going to be 3 months that they were going to hold a job for me. By the time March rolled around, Round Top offered me a job as director of sales. So then I went back to the college and I said, you guys, I'm so sorry. Like, you've held this job for me, but I've got this great opportunity. And they said, Lutricia, that's a career. Like, this was just going to be a job. That's a career and you need to take that. At Round Top at first, it was social media, the sales effort, and planning all the events on the mountain. So both festivals, music, etc. After a couple years, the social media and events transitioned back to the marketing department and they hired a person to do that. And then I focused directly and specifically just on sales for several years until I left there.
So you created your own opportunities, which is a great inspiration for other women who are trying to get into the industry. And that is a big deal that you were talking about, moving from part-time to getting the benefits, which is just essential if you're single or if you're the person who's in charge of the healthcare for your family. And I think it's illuminating for listeners to know that not those part-time jobs just don't have those benefits to them. So you've really got to move to the handful. I don't know, it's a small percentage at every mountain that is a year round. Would you guess it's like 10% of the staff is year round at most mountains?
It is a small percentage. And one of the things that I'm aware of in my new role is a lot of outdoor industries are seasonal, but how can we create an opportunity? And I'm still fleshing this out in my head, but how can we create an opportunity whereby somebody could work 4 months at one job and 9 months at another job, 10 months, whatever, and get year-round health benefits? So how can we as an association create an opportunity for year-round health benefits, even if you're working at 2 different jobs full-time? And recognizing that there's lots of skilled people, the job just doesn't exist year-round.
So that leads us nicely into talking about Pora. Tell us about why the group was founded, what it does?
Well, this Pennsylvania Ski Areas Association has existed since the 70s, and with a lot of strength and a lot of respect here in Pennsylvania. And over the past couple years, they started just kind of having a conversation about the strategic plan and saying, is this the direction we want to continue and what's next? And many of our resorts are year round now and have business in the shoulder seasons from just winter. And so that was a conversation that was happening internally with the Ski Areas Association. And at the same time, the state of Pennsylvania became, I think it's the 22nd or 23rd state to create a Department of Outdoor Recreation within the state as well. Colorado was the first state to do so. So it's definitely a movement that's happening across the country. So Pennsylvania was doing that. They hired their first ever Department of Outdoor Recreation director. The ski areas was having the conversation. Our board president ended up serving on an advisory council for the state and their formation of their department, so that worked really well. Our executive director was looking to retire. She'd been in the role for, I believe, 24 years. And so the job was posted. I saw it in April as the Pennsylvania Ski Areas executive director, and I thought that the heavens had opened up and the Hallelujah chorus was ringing down on me because it was just like my dream to return to the ski industry from where I'd been. By the time I interviewed in June, they told me that they just refiled as the Pennsylvania Outdoor Recreation Association. So here we are, charting a new path forward and figuring out, what is the value proposition for members. We're very familiar with our advocacy efforts on behalf of ski areas, but what does it look like when we pull in, the climbing community and the whitewater rafting community and the fly fishing community and the hiking? How does that change and expand our efforts? And certainly workforce development is a key opportunity for us. And like I said, it's always been about getting employees to the ski areas, but this is really about raising awareness that it can be a career or it can be stepping stones like it was for me that lead to a future career.
Tell us a little bit about what the ski resort landscape looks like in Pennsylvania. A lot of us I'm familiar with a few of the mountains. You mentioned Blue Mountain, but I'm sure there's always many more than we're aware of. So walk us through that a little.
We have 23 member ski resorts, and they are ranging from day resorts, night skiing, and resorts with lodging. So we kind of fill the full gamut there. Some are owned by members of, they're members of the Icon Pass, they're members of Vail, and others are private. I think what's cool about Pennsylvania is that our tagline as the Ski Areas Association was "Start Here." And so really trying to position ourselves to say, start here for skiing. We're family friendly. Start here for skiing. We're close to home. We're close to a significant metropolitan area. And we're looking to transition that same tagline to the Outdoor Recreation Association. Start here. Start here for your whitewater rafting. Start here for your climbing. Start here for your mountain biking. The landscape here, I would say, is very family friendly. A lot of our resorts tend to feed into one common base area, so parents are more comfortable letting their kids be adolescent or maybe play around on the mountain a little bit with their friends, knowing that when they're hungry, there's only one place they can go to find food or find their parents. And our mountains are just really skilled at creating programs for kids, and especially the multi-week programs. And I mentioned in college, but most of our mountains also have the multi-week programs for young kids too.
It does have a reputation for being family friendly, and it was not on my radar that you could use your Icon Pass or your Epic Pass in Pennsylvania. I'll have to look up those mountains if you don't know them off the top of your head. I was thinking that it's a place that could be a little bit more affordable because I'm guessing there are still like family owned and independent mountains that can run learn to ski deals or Friday nights for, X amount of money. Is that all true? You don't have to plunk down, $1,200 for an Icon Pass or $1,000 for an Epic?
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And we're dating our website right now for winter. And so I have received 2 press releases from 2 of our members. Shawnee Mountain is offering a 4th and 5th grade ski pass for parents. Well, for kids, and Spring Mountain Adventures also has a pass. I double check myself. It's either for 4th and 5th grade or just 4th grade. So both of those mountains, many of our other mountains do, yes, very similar activities because kids are essential to the sport.
And where's the best place for, this is the winter, we're going to do it, we're going to learn to ski. I live close to Pennsylvania. I live in Pennsylvania. Where do I go to pick which mountain is right for my family? Is there a central resource?
Yeah, the ski area's website is www.skipa.com, and that is still our website.
So that's still the best resource for finding a mountain that would be a good match for us. And are some of these deals and programs going to be listed there as well?
Yes, yes, that's what we're in the process of, is updating that website to specifically list the unique programs each of the mountains offer.
So you talked a little bit about the vibe of skiing in Pennsylvania, that it's pretty family friendly, that there happens to be like a communal base area, there's some night skiing. Are there other factors about your state that make it ideal for young families to get up and running?
Well, I think one of the unique factors about our state is that we have been making snow for a long time because of where we exist. I always chuckle when I read industry articles about Western resorts starting to make snow or figuring out that they're going to need to make snow because their seasons aren't starting as soon. But we've been doing that for a long time. And the technology's improved so much that the snowmaking technology is just tremendous right now. So what makes it good for families, in my opinion, is that you can count on there being snow. Even if there's not snow in your backyard, most likely our member resorts are going to have snow on the mountains. And our snowmaking teams and our grooming teams have been at it for a long time. So they know their mountain. They know how to move that snow around, even if it's been warm for a while, and make sure that there's coverage.
And in general, when does the ski season start and end in Pennsylvania?
That's such a loaded question, Sarah. But certainly, we're gonna be looking for those cold temps to occur in November. And that helps the water in the ponds to start get cold enough. So that means that it's easier to make snow. We don't have to circulate air to get that water cold. Ideally, we're going to start testing the snow guns in late November and then be ready to open up in mid-December. That's the goal, is certainly to open up in mid-December, and then for the ski season to get through at least to the middle of March would be ideal. There's some times when we can go a little bit later. That's about the ideal season, mid-December to mid-March.
Is there women's programming that we could expect if some of the mountains are there? Is there ski racing in Pennsylvania for juniors? What are some of the things that could get families even more involved than, the occasional weekend trip?
There is ski racing. At most mountains that I'm familiar with, they have ski racing. The women's programs are not as prevalent as I would like them to be. I'm pretty sure in my years past that Whitetail Resort did have a good women's program there. I think the key is that because there's so many mountains here in Pennsylvania, there's one close to anybody. And because our season is shorter, most of our mountains have lights, and so we're open at night, and so that's the opportunity, in my opinion, for the family to come out, is also in the evening, after work, to get a couple turns in because it's so close to home. You don't have to make it just a weekend trip.
And are there also some of where we started this conversation, middle school or high school local programs that go to these mountains on a weekly basis?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the resorts they're looking to get the kids involved because, like I said, that's the future of skiing. And so they're going to have a multi-week program, whether that's, every Monday you go for 3 or 4 weeks in a row, or, an all-day Saturday program that you'd sign your kids up and be able to get involved with that.
You're now over all of these new places where you can adventure outdoors. Are you learning a great deal? Did you know anything about fly fishing before? Are you getting like a complete new set of information and skills? Are we going to find you out mountain biking? Is this opening up a whole new world to you?
Um, it will. I only started August 1st. And so really figuring out what the job is, what the opportunities are is where I'm still at. I am tremendously excited though to be able to claim skiing as work again. When I worked at the resort and could pop out the door and go skiing anytime, it was just so mentally therapeutic. So it's a goal to be able to get out to all 23 of our member resorts this winter. I am already an avid hiker and like being in the outdoors, so that's not going to be a hard one for me to embrace. But yeah, I'm excited to get out and try other things. I've always been aware of the outdoor opportunities in Pennsylvania because that's my personal bent. And when I worked with the ski areas, I was really involved with several of our local visitors bureaus and DMOs. So I'm aware of the opportunities. But to get out and start experimenting, I'm just waiting for the day when one of our members is going to say, Lutricia, you need to come try this. And I'm going to be like, but I don't want to, but I guess I have to because I'm the executive director.
It sounds like you're going to need a lot of space for a lot of gear and equipment for a lot of different sports.
I
Doesn't
like the
it?
way you think. Yeah, you're gonna have to start clearing some space in the garage.
If we do think about where we have to keep all of this stuff for all of the things we want to play. This makes me think about, you mentioned that a lot of these resorts now are year round. What are some of the other activities that we would find in these mountains in the shoulder seasons, or even during the winter? Would we find things like tubing, or just walk us through some of the other offerings?
Well, certainly in the winter, yes, snow tubing. Many of our resorts have snow tubing. In the non-winter, a few of our resorts have climbing walls available. Many of them run a summer camp for kids utilizing some of their resources. I'm pretty sure Blue Mountain even had paddle boarding available at their mountain when I was there before, and they have an adventure park. Camelback Resort in the Poconos has a water park. Bear Creek Resort has a spa and convention center, and recently hosted a mountain biking competition at their resort. So there's good diversity of activities around, and in all of those areas, there's more to do. So there's, if you come to the resort, you stay at Bear Creek, for example, and take advantage of their lodge, there's lots more in that area that you could then go do.
And one of the things when we were going back and forth about the interview, one of the things that you wanted to talk about and we were interested in as well is creating a workforce for the mountains. And, one of my ideas was there's an untapped group of teenagers who maybe are not going to go the traditional college route. I think the statistics are only like 30% or so go on to college. So we've got 70% of teenagers that need to figure out what they're going to do, and maybe they're going to go into a trade. And then we also have a lot of untapped talent of moms who are very educated, and they took time off to raise kids, raise a family, and they're sometimes ready to consider a part-time job, consider something seasonal. What are some of the opportunities for those two groups, which really fit, align nicely with the ski moms, to find opportunities in Pennsylvania?
You kind of touched on one of my passion spots for years, which is the teens who are, going to go to college. And so they're either involved in their technical school at their high school. I toured one near me, their technical school, and the students completely redid the IT infrastructure at the high school. And so there's IT jobs at every single one of our ski resorts. And that can be an opportunity. And like I mentioned before, I mean, welding and heavy equipment and conveyor belts, those are all opportunities at our resorts. And sometimes those maintenance jobs are year round. So that to me is a passion. How can I get involved with the local tech schools and community colleges as the executive director, because our ski resort staff are all working, wearing multiple hats all year long. How, as the executive director, can I build awareness to let people know that a ski resort is an opportunity for them? And then you mentioned moms getting back into the workforce. I mean, certainly there's always a job available, and they're usually pretty flexible too, which is the neat thing about it, because our resorts are often open from 8 or 9 a.m. until 8 or 9 or 10 p.m. at night. There's multiple shifts that can be covered there. We have a website called pathtooutdoorjobs.com that we are making available to all of our members at no cost to post jobs on, and driving awareness, using that to drive awareness about outdoor jobs. And it's continued to build the opportunity in the pipeline for our member resorts.
And it sounds like they wouldn't get benefits right away, but what are some of the non-traditional benefits that one would get from partnering or working for a mountain? Hey, ski moms, we're deep into ski season, and we want to know how your gear is holding up. If your skis and boards are feeling sluggish, it's time for a tune-up. A fresh wax and edge sharpening can make all the difference, giving you smoother turns, better grip, and a way more fun experience on the mountain. With locations in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, Ski Haus is ready to keep your gear in great shape. Experts recommend tuning your gear every 10 to 15 days on snow, or sooner if you've been battling the icy slopes. Here's a tip. If your bases look dry, white, or fuzzy, it's time for a wax. Lucky for you, Ski Haus has the pros to get your skis and boards back in peak shape. Drop them off on Sunday, and they'll be ready for Friday pickup at any of Ski Haus's 3 locations. Treat your gear right, and it'll treat you to the best ski days yet. Pick from 3 locations, Woburn and Framingham in Massachusetts, and shop tax-free in Salem, New Hampshire. Check them out at skihaus.com. That's skihaus.com to find your nearest store.
It varies from mountain to mountain, but in my experience, there's a discount on food and either a discount or complimentary lessons as available. Skiing, in my experience, has always been at no cost for employees, and rental equipment can either be at no cost or at a discount. I did listen to one of your recent podcasts and talking about childcare on the mountains, and that's the department I started in, was childcare, and unfortunately, it is no longer available at that mountain. And I listened to your podcast, and I was inspired to try to restart that conversation again and talk about how that's kind of essential for getting even young dads out into the workforce. Somebody's got to take care of the kids, and if that's available for staff as well as the guests that are showing up, that's an essential benefit.
We've heard a huge positive response to Steamboat's investment in their childcare. I know Pennsylvania does not have Steamboat money at any of the mountains. That doesn't mean they couldn't do something smaller. Our local resort here in the Mad River Valley, Mad River Glen, has a teeny tiny childcare facility called the Cricket Club. And per hour, I think it's like $25 an hour for childcare there. Amazing. Like, you're going to not find a rate like that pretty much anywhere else in the country. So it is possible. Maybe it's a co-op model. I don't know if the parents have to put in time there as well, but we know you don't have to have Steamboat dollars in order to start childcare. So it is really important. But we've interviewed a lot of people that their parents worked on the mountain, and that's how the kids got into ski racing, or they got into skiing because they were just always there. And if you can, those year-long programs can be pretty expensive. And if you can save on that or work in those programs, you're probably either, if you're not going to get it for free, you're going to get it highly discounted. So that's really attractive.
And what a great opportunity to be sharing your passion with your kids and be able to be right there with them.
I wanted to hear a little bit about if you were in one of the cities in Pennsylvania, are there bus trips or anything like that to some of the closer mountains? Have you heard about anything like that being available?
I have not heard, not cities in Pennsylvania necessarily, and I would say that that's because most people travel there themselves. There are ski clubs in the bigger cities, like in Washington, D.C., that would bring people to one of the closer mountains, but within Pennsylvania, people tend to travel there themselves.
What about, you mentioned there's a few resorts that do have on-site lodging. Which ones are those if people wanted to maybe make a weekend out of it and not just a day trip?
I'm going to tell you the ones I know of. I'm hoping I'm not leaving one out because that would be a terrible representation of the executive director. But Seven Springs Mountain Resort out in Western Pennsylvania has lodging. Liberty Mountain Resort near Gettysburg has lodging. Camelback Resort in the Poconos has lodging, and Bear Creek Mountain Resort has lodging, which is also near the Poconos and Philadelphia.
I have stayed at Camelback Resort, Sarah. So I have skied Pennsylvania. And I will say it was my kids were little, and it was fantastic because we did the water park, the indoor portion. There were a couple different restaurants. I mean, the kids thought they were in absolute heaven. I don't think we skied that much because there were so many other things. But if your family is dabbling, this isn't, completely unpaid endorsement for Camelback Mountain. It is really, really fun to go there. And they're going to run into so many other kids. And there's a tubing hill. You really get some speed going. And I need to spend more time in Pennsylvania. I mean, I just have got to get out there. But it was a really fun experience, and people were living their best wintry lives there for sure.
Yeah, Camelback has an indoor and outdoor water park. In the summer, the outdoor. Yeah, I was just there a couple weekends ago and staying in the hotel, and they do a really great job all around.
I know you can't pick a favorite, but do you have a home mountain that's close to you? What is your go-to resort And I know you're going to get to all 23. We're going to manifest that. It's going to happen. But what's the easiest one to get to, the one you call home?
Round Top is about an 8-minute drive from me. So that's the one that I can pop into pretty quickly.
And is Round Top is a day trip mountain?
Yes. Yeah. No lodging there. It's near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So there's plenty of hotels in the area, and it's an easy drive up from the Maryland and DC market. So it's right off of 15 and 83. So it's extremely accessible. But for me, it's 8 miles through the back roads. It's a beautiful drive. It's therapeutic to get there, boot up in the parking lot on the slopes, within 3 minutes, and you can get quite a bit of skiing in the middle of the day and then come back to work and pretend like I was here the whole time.
Yeah, that's a lunch break destination. That's almost ski in, ski out. Do you carve out time in your official calendar for this year and you're like, okay, these are going to be ski days and these are going to be office days? How are you going to manage your work? Because you got to get out there.
I am so excited to be back in this industry and this opportunity, because when I was working at the nonprofit in the corporate world, I would block days out on my calendar to go skiing weeks in advance, months in advance, and inevitably something would come up that I had to be at and I couldn't go skiing. Or if I blocked the time out to go skiing, I had an official meeting afterwards and helmet head was not an option. So it's like I had to make sure I had time to ski and take a shower and make my hair look like this again. I see nothing but goodness ahead. I am so excited to be able to ski again. I mean, my goodness, I can pop over there and ski from 9 to 10 and be on a meeting by 10:30 at home. And as far as I'm concerned, as the executive director of outdoor recreation, I can wear a baseball cap. So I don't even have to wash my hair and make it look pretty again. I'm ready. I'm so ready.
So when you're going to visit these mountains, do they are you wearing a big coat that says Ski PA and they know that you're the head of outdoor recreation, or are you undercover? Walk us through what this do they know you're coming and everyone's scurrying around to make everything look really nice and have everything perfectly groomed for you? Or are you more a mystery shopper?
I like the way you think, Sarah, but I don't think I'm that important at all. Not at all. I would say certainly I would reach out to the general manager and let them know I'm coming, because I want to have a personal conversation with them, at least sit down and have a cup of coffee while I'm there and get to know them. But my style is I'm the one that sneaks out the back door from the party because I don't feel like saying goodbye to anybody. I'm just going to peace out. I'm going out the back door. So as far as visiting our mountains goes, if I was visiting the capacity of executive director, I would probably be more chatty than usual and try to ask employees questions like, how's today compared to yesterday? Or, how was your weekend? Things like that. But I am not the personality that would ever walk around and tell people, who I am or that's why I'm there. Unless, one of the things I'm looking to do as the executive director is officially get out and meet people. And so I will be going to some of our member resorts for their welcome back to their employees for winter, and standing up in front of the room to say, hey, I'm the new executive director. We are transitioning from the Skiers Association to outdoor recreation. Here's why. Here's the economic impact of outdoors in Pennsylvania. And all of you are here because you're passionate about the outdoors, but you probably frequent other places. And so if you have ideas of other people who could become members, we would welcome that information. So I would be doing that as a sales pitch, but if I'm there to ski, I'm there to ski.
Okay, two things. One, it would be a really nice benefit if they had a member benefit that they would get discounts at other mountains. If they were working at Round Top, if they would be able to get a discounted pass at Camelback. So there's a little pitch for you. And two, Sarah, I'm really excited about this mystery shopper on mountain business that we could launch. We could send ski moms out to different mountains undercover, and then we could give reports back to the mountain about were the bathrooms clean? What was ski school like? I really like this, Sarah. Secret shoppers, ski mom secret shoppers.
Well, I think it ties well to your episode about childcare too, where the conversation about the bathrooms being so far from the lesson area. Yeah, it'd be great feedback that you guys could offer as mystery shoppers.
Unfortunately, it's often feedback that is not appreciated or welcome, but we will keep trying. So we have run through most of our questions for you. Is there anything else you want to add before we get to our fun après-ski portion of the podcast?
I wanted to talk a little bit more about just outdoor recreation in the state of Pennsylvania, because it's been really fascinating to me to learn more about that and how much the ski areas contribute to that. So, for example, the outdoor recreation industry contributes $17 billion to Pennsylvania's gross domestic product. And that exceeds mining, quarrying, oil, and gas extractions combined. So outdoor recreation is pretty significant here, and we're the 8th largest outdoor recreation economy in the country. 8th in the country. And then the ski industry generated $986 million of total economic impact in 2022-23. So I said that it's $17 billion for the state of outdoor recreation, and skiing was almost $1 billion of that. The last stat that we have is for 2022-23, in which 2.17 million skier visits within the state. People just love to ski here and families get started here, but we don't always think about the economic impact of that, which is why I'm so excited to be a part of this opportunity and movement right now, and to talk to people about how outdoors impacts all of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, those numbers are really staggering, impressive. I would never have guessed the size of the impact. Well, yeah, it sounds like the outdoor industry is definitely contributing to Pennsylvania in a way that maybe we don't all think of every day. So we always love to end with hearing about, after you've had your work and your ski day, and maybe you're at Round Top, how do you après ski? What does that look like for you?
Well, if I'm at Round Top, I'm probably there first thing in the morning. So après ski is going to be going back to work. But one of the things I am excited about this winter is one of our member resorts, Mount Pleasant of Edinburgh, which is up near Erie, just got their liquor license. And so they've had local breweries on site for the past several years, but now they're going to be able to have their own taps and serve local beer. And so that's one of the places that I'm excited about visiting, and make sure that Erie is about 5 hours from home. So I'll be making sure that I get a hotel that night, and I can après there, stay overnight, and then drive home the next day.
Which mountains? Is it the Poconos that are in Pennsylvania? Okay, so everything we ski is in the Poconos, or they're different?
Probably, yes. Everything that you would be skiing. Poconos is the northeast corner, and that's what's near the New York metro market in New Jersey. So yeah, if you're going to travel south, that's probably what you're going to be hitting. In the west, near Pittsburgh, are several resorts, and so they pick up the Pittsburgh market. And then in southern Pennsylvania, Liberty, Whitetail, and Round Top get the DC metro area and Baltimore market.
Well, I absolutely love it. Thank you for all your time and energy. And we'll be looking for lots of new things coming from you. And we know that you're new to your job, so we appreciate that you are getting to learn the dynamic landscape of the skiing in Pennsylvania. So we will make sure we put all the links in there. So if people want to learn more, they can go to the websites and find out more information about skiing in Pennsylvania.
Thank you both. I enjoyed talking with you. Yeah, I was looking forward to the conversation, and I appreciated the chance to do a little prep work and listen to some of your episodes. I also listened to the episode with Sue from Bromley about getting in shape. And I'm a big CrossFitter, and so I appreciated some of what she had to say about getting in shape for the season. So you guys are doing a good job too. Thank you for your work.
We want to take a moment to remind you about the Ski Moms discount page on the skimoms.co website. We've collaborated with our favorite brands to bring you a ton of money-saving deals. For instance, we have a special link for Ski Butlers for 20% off your family's gear rentals. Ski Butlers delivers your rentals right to the living room of your condo or rental home, or the lobby of your hotel, saving you hours of time. You'll never have to wait in a long rental store line at the base of the mountain again. When you use our links and codes, you not only save a bundle, you're also sending a message to the brands about the purchasing power of the Ski Moms. Head to www.theskimoms.co/discounts to take advantage of these special offers. Hey, Ski Moms, we hope you enjoyed today's episode and got some great tips for your next family ski adventure. If you had as much fun listening as we did making this episode, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our latest episodes. And don't forget to rate and review us. Your feedback helps us bring you more of the content you love and helps other ski moms find our podcast. Plus, we love hearing from you. So whether you're on the slopes or just dreaming of your next snowy getaway, stay connected with us. Follow us on social media, share your favorite episodes with your friends, and let's keep this awesome community growing.
Hey, Ski Moms! We're thrilled to be partnering with Ulster County this year to bring you 4 seasons of family travel inspiration. Nestled in the stunning Hudson Valley of New York State, Ulster County is your go-to destination for outdoor adventure all year long. And when it comes to planning your winter getaway, this spot truly delivers. Let's talk about Bel Air Mountain, a ski resort that has thought of everything, from their expanded base lodge and standalone equipment rental center to the beginner-friendly area on top of the mountain. Yep, you heard that right. Bel Air makes hitting the slopes a breeze for newbies and seasoned pros alike. Looking for thrills? This is home to the only gondola in the Catskills and the longest vertical drop in the region. Oh, and if Mother Nature isn't cooperating, no worries. 96% of the terrain is covered by top-notch snowmaking. Looking for even more winter fun? Rocking Horse Ranch has you covered. Picture this: a beginner ski hill, snow tubing, ice skating, and a winter fun park all in one spot. And if you're feeling adventurous, how about a horseback trail ride through the snowy landscapes? It's like a winter wonderland on horseback. Get all the details and start planning your Ulster County adventure at visitulstercountyny.com. That's visit ULSTER County NY.com.